Hello, my name is Evan Townsend. I am your world geography teacher, and I'm going to show you a little bit about the classroom and about some rules and expectations, and I'll throw a PowerPoint in here in a couple minutes, and then we should be good. So welcome. My name is Evan. I've been teaching for roughly about 5 or 6 years. 2 years now at the middle school. Before that, I was at the high school, and then I was actually teaching graduate level and upper undergraduate level classes at University of Wyoming. So it's been a lot of fun teaching the brain at various stages, and I really like the middle school brain for all of its faults and joys. I love it. So let's just show you around my room just for a little bit here. So let me grab my camera off my computer here and I'll show you what I can see. So your child is going to be coming into this room at least twice a week, maybe on Fridays. You can see we've had to separate the desks, and then as you can see here, there's a lot of blank walls. That's not because I'm not being creative as much as I believe that those walls are for our students. Yes, we do have quite a bit of spacing between our desks. That's because we have to, because the world we live in. But yep, we'll be using these big maps all the time. It's a geography class, and that's usually a drill. And then, oh, I should mention that over there, I wonder if I can point through the camera. Over there, you'll see the whiteboard, and that's where kind of the expectations of the day are going to be, and what the target is, and how we're going to manage it. So anyway, let's come back to the computer here, and then I will load up our PowerPoint. Great. So I'll take us to the top here. So I'm using an old one from last year, the back to school night, but because the world is different, let's do it a little bit differently. So you don't really need to worry about that. This is probably the most important thing for you to know is how to get in touch with me. So it is etownsend@albanycountyschooldistrict1.org. I have planning periods 4th and 7th period, which I should attach a schedule, but I'll put that on Canvas so you all can see it too. And then my extension down there too, I'm room 133. So a little pro tip for anybody trying to get in touch with any teacher, if you know the room number, all you have to do is press 55 and then that room number. So for example, I'm room 133, 55133. Moving on. Oh, I should go back and say, you know, anytime I see parents as an opportunity to be a team member, I really value parents as a kind of a co-teacher. Now, I don't want to rely on you to do the co-teaching. That's not your job. That's my job. But if you ever want to attack, so to speak, anything from multiple angles, know that I'm on your team and I'm always going to be talking to you about what's going on. Which reminds me, if your student's coming in gloomy or doomy for a couple days in a row, I'm going to reach out to you. Just let you know and say, hey, you know, so-and-so has been a little down in the dumps lately. Just thought I'd let you know anything I can do to help or anything going on at home that I can help support with. I'm going to do that. And on the other side of that too, if they've just been having a total turnaround and are kicking butt at school and are happy and having lots of friends, I want you to know the happy news just as much as the sad news, right? So I see us on the same team, and moving forward to that, let's give you some information so that you have that transparency to know what we're doing. Supply list, it's usually a lot longer, right? All we need really is a pen and pencil. I suggest a water bottle. It's optional, obviously. You know, I'm not trying to force feed anybody, but water is life, right? And so do bring a water bottle. The water fountains at the school are closed, however, so you know you can't put your mouth on it, but you can still fill up your water bottle in a lot of those ports. So it is, you know, advantageous to bring your water bottle. I always bring mine for that reason. And then, you know, like I say, pen and pencil, it's just a good idea to bring it. So throw it in a pocket in a backpack or something like that, and just have in case, because we're still figuring out how much paper we can give students, and then do they give it back to us? So we're still working through that, and when working through what the governor's orders are. And then the device at the bottom of this, you'll see not optional. Well, yeah, it used to be optional because we would have devices in here that they could use, but now we're giving Chromebooks to everybody. And you know, it is their responsibility to charge that Chromebook at night and then have it ready and charged to be at school. Now, of course, mistakes happen. The primary, like we need that device at school. If the device happens to not get charged overnight, we understand this is middle school, mistakes happen. Adults make mistakes all the time too. So we've got charging stations for that laptop in various locations in the school and in classrooms, but it does help out with the flow of the day really well if the laptop can be charged up all the way for first period to 8th period. Okay. So I've got a couple zero tolerance things. I just don't have a lot of room in my life, and I hope all of our lives, for racism, sexism, sexual harassment, bullying, language that cuts others down, not believing in yourself, and just not reporting a problem. Now, zero tolerance, what does that mean? It means that I'm absolutely not gonna be like, oh, bummer, you just said something racist. It's gonna be more like, well, let's unpack that. Why did that racism happen? And then I'll decide whether or not it needs to be reported. Sexual harassment, sexism, I see these as learning opportunities, not so much as punishment opportunities. However, I'm 100% not afraid to take that to the punishment realm if I can tell that there was malintent. Okay, promises I give the students, which means promises I give to you. I am going to keep them safe. My number one job, no matter what on this planet, is to make sure that your student is safe. They can't do anything in this world without feeling safe. So, step one. Step two is making sure that I model kindness and considerateness and just kind of warmth, and to show them that you can be both kind and professional, empathetic, but not overly emotional. There's a lot of things that I'm trying to model for them. So keeping them safe, modeling that kindness and considerateness that I expect from them. And then finally, I teach them geography, right? I'm gonna do my best to promote that respectful environment. I'm really going to work hard on not giving them busy work, especially since we have such precious time with them. Long ago are the days where I just hand out worksheets and then wander around the classroom helping as I can. Worksheets will happen. It's inevitable. It's part of how the brain needs to work, especially with fill in the blanks for notes and things like that. But as far as just work for work's sake, that's just not something I went to school for however many years, and now I'm supposed to give just busy work to kids. I don't like doing it. My full attention anytime. The student is the most important thing I do at this school. So if I'm in the middle of, say, writing an email, and a student comes into me, they know that I'm going to stop writing that email, or at least fire off that last sentence, and then turn to them and say, what's going on? So that's the promise I can give to students and thus you. And ability to turn in late work. We got about a 9-week policy on that late work, but things happen, the world happens, we'll work through it, and if I need to differentiate that and have an individual plan for that, that's totally fine. Yeah, and then this is normally the Q&A section where I hear parents' questions and answer them, but we're not able to do that in this strange virtual world. So I will say that, at this point, make sure that your kid has a laptop, or whether that's districts or a family laptop. Make sure they know how to get on ClassLink, and make sure they know how to get on a Canvas. And all of our classes are in Canvas this year. So we should be in good shape there. And I could probably stop the share there. I will say that Canvas is going to be the main tool that we teach through. And your kid is going to know a lot more about that. I'm also going to work on sending out letters to parents fairly regularly. Now, not every day, because that's awful for all of us, but maybe every other week, maybe for every new unit. I'm still working out what that details, because we're all still trying to figure out what our daily schedule looks like and how we can set those kind of digital boundaries. So more on that later, but that's all to say, you guys are on the same team, and I want to make sure that transparency is there, so you can anticipate what your student might need, and thus your life becomes just a little bit easier through coronavirus. Always available to chat, always on the other side of the phone, and email me all the time if you need that. Okay, hope you guys are well. Reach out if you need it, and thanks for sending your student to LMS.